We all stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joy Sellers.
Here.
Kathy Altensi.
Here.
Nikki Bender.
Here.
Melinda Cook.
Here.
Patrick Sellers.
Here. All righty, all right, here. The first order of business is the approval of minutes for the March 19th, 2018 meeting. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Bender, second by Artisan. Please take a look at the minutes. Any question on the minutes? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next order of business is the approval of bills payable. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Bender, second by Alderson. Please take a look at the bills payable. Oh, sorry.
T&L Enterprises,
Where are you
seen
at?
that before on the general assistance.
Okay, it's a new, they're new vendors. They are landlords. Are there any questions on claims and demands? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joy Sellers. Nikki Bender. Melinda Cook. Kathy Altensi. Patrick Sellers.
Aye. Motion passes, okay. The next order of business is questions and discussion on ordinance 2018 TO01 for fiscal year 2018 and 19 appropriation ordinance. Need a motion and a second, please. You're right, because motion second made the last
Don't need to
meeting.
do it.
Right.
This is just for discussion.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's correct, right? There was a motion made at the last meeting.
I wasn't here. Can we meet?
All
It would
right.
be in the minutes
It should be
if
in the
there
minutes.
was.
Let's take a look.
There-
I don't see it in
No?
here.
The approval of publishing.
For the publishing of the,
Yeah, there was a motion to publish it, but I don't think there was any motion to approve it or,
or to open for.
And then there should be, I stand corrected, and there should be a motion. I'm surprised we didn't.
Okay. well,
we haven't had the opportunity yet. Motion to discuss?
Approve.
No. Discuss.
Well, we're just gonna discuss tonight, but somebody has to make a motion to approve it. If it wasn't done at the previous, and then we're gonna postpone it to the next regular meeting before you vote on it, correct? Because it has to be laid over for 30 days.
Right.
That we did.
Okay,
Mhm.
but to lay it over, you always should be making a motion to approve before you make the motion to postpone.
And that we did, I think we did that in the meeting before this last one, where we had to publish it. That would be it.
Right.
It says that it was paid for. Is that what-
No.
When we, approval to publish it, we also should have made a motion to approve the budget, the appropriation bill.
Oh, okay.
So I don't
The
have.
approval to publish was at the March 5th meeting.
Okay, there were, at that time, it appears there was a approval for publication made by trustee Sellers, seconded by trustee Altonsi. But I don't know if they made a motion to approve it.
No, Michael, there was no motion to approve
So there
it.
should be a motion tonight to approve it, and then we'll postpone it to the 16th for final action.
Okay, so what is the wording? What is the verbiage I should be saying?
Motion to postpone ordinance 2018 TO01 until our April 16th, 2018 meeting.
Okay, everybody catch that?
So, second.
Okay, now, just a minute, now, motion to lay over?
No,
No,
I'll tell you later. It's a motion to approve.
okay,
And then a motion to postpone after you have your discussion tonight will be in order.
okay, so who made the motion to approve?
I did.
Bender, and seconded it?
Joy.
Thank you. Okay, now we can discuss. it.
Okay.
I just have a couple of structural issues with how the budget's presented. The use of the term revenues is being used somewhat indiscriminately between revenues and appropriations. So like, on the general town fund, you did beginning balance 606,769, estimated revenues, if you add those numbers all up, it's 631,751. But then it says total estimated revenues, 632,551, which is actually the total allocation. It's just a small difference, but unless you add that up yourself, you won't get this bottom number of total estimated funds available. It comes out with an $800 difference because there's a slight difference in the case of the town fund between the appropriations amount and the total revenues. So it's very confusing to look at in that situation, but in the general assistance fund, the total estimated revenues are 491,294, but then it says total estimated revenues 284,160. Again, that's the total appropriations amount. However, why I even noticed this and got confused, I was doing the math and I thought maybe I'm just adding that wrong because it was so close. Then I got to the insurance fund where it says beginning balance 94,185, estimated revenues 45,957, and then total estimated revenues 2650. So the amount is larger than the right. So the property tax amount, and then so estimated revenues is being total estimated revenues is being stated, but it really is total estimated or total appropriation. And so it makes just looking at the numbers confusing, and I think it would be better for the viewers, so then you can kind of, for whoever is reading this, like us, so I don't have to go through and figure out these like little differences, and it just be clear accounting, it seems like. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you write that down?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it all written on my little note page
Write
here.
that down for me, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to Liz about it, and then we'll see if we can address that.
It is about it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, I understand it, it's just the way it is presented on here is not the clearest way.
Okay.
And I think it would be
And it might
helpful.
be clear from an accounting standpoint, you know, as far as Liz is concerned,
Well, where I
but the
found,
layman might not
Yes.
look at it that way.
but if you look at the capital improvement repair replacement fund, the estimated revenues, which is just a transfer from the general town fund, is $20,000. And then it says total estimated revenues, $20,000. So that actually is the total estimated revenue in that situation. But then it says total estimated funds available, 27,068, and then the actual amount is 27,000. That's on every other fund, the way that would have been, it's an inconsistency.
Okay.
Because every other fund that would have, total estimated revenues would have been this amount, the total appropriation. So there's just, it's confusing, and if someone was reading this, like a constituent, they might find that problematic.
Okay.
So yeah, just a separate line for total estimated revenues and total estimated appropriations is all. I was just had to say all that so you can see what I was talking about.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else?
Mhm.
I can keep going. Well, the other thing along the same lines, just for me, I'm really concerned about the reserve amount growing and like figuring out how we can spend that down, right? And to see that clear on this, how we have for each fund the beginning balance, it'd be cool if, like how on the last page we have the ending balances, the estimated ending balances. I went through and just figured out what the differences were between the one on the 2017 budget and the beginning balances that we actually have. It'd be nice to see that, but specifically just listed the beginning balances of each fund,
Okay.
so we can see the total excess
Okay.
instead of having to add them up separately. Because in others, like, we have it all, the total estimated excess at the end, but not the total beginning.
Okay.
And then similarly, total estimated funds available. Like how at the end of each
Okay.
one, there's that list of total of the beginning balance and the revenues combined.
Okay.
You can see that all in one place. So then you can see the total estimated funds, total beginning balance, total appropriation.
Okay.
To me, a number of hours, like just a bit of that, figure that out. My main concern is just, I'd like to figure out how to draw down reserves. Do we have any plans for that?
Absolutely. When I first took office, we weren't able to give grants to other organizations. We just weren't financially stable enough to do that. We are now.
Yeah.
So we are going to be starting to give more grants to other organizations to help out in areas that we can't help out in. So that's going to
Yeah.
help with
Where-
the drawdown. all that
Where
good
would we
stuff.
see that on the budget? Like, that would be in the general assistance fund?
More than likely, it'll probably be in our programs. In our programs.
I've
So-
heard a number of people, like constituents, say more program, they'd like to see more
More
programs
programs.
and more like work training.
Mhm.
So if we could allocate more funds to that.
Mhm.
Because yeah, the beginning balance in the past, just the 3 years of budget I have, that amount remaining in the general assistance fund is just growing and growing. Like-
Which is a good thing.
Yes, but the concern is if people see that there's that much excess, they will want to lower the tax levy, right? They'll think, well, we're taxing too much, and so we should be spending what we're taxing and figuring out ways to help as many people as possible.
Mhm.
So,
One of the issues you gotta remember in the general assistance is the state tells us we have to spend it. We can't say we don't got it, they
Right.
don't care. That's one of the funds that's really kinda weird, because we really have a lot less control than you might think of what we might have in the other funds. Because, and one of the things we're worried about general assistance, to be brutally honest, is that if the Affordable Care Act goes away, which we almost zeroed out what we were spending for medical assistance with the Affordable Care Act, if that goes away, the people are gonna come back to us.
yeah.
And the state's gonna look at it and says, we don't care, you have to
Yeah,
pay
okay.
it. I don't care if you don't have it appropriated, pay it.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying that's one thing we always are very concerned about, of how that's gonna work in the future. Because once that goes away, then people are gonna have in the past, and may in the future, be more reliant on township funds for emergency medical situations.
You spend up all your money and you might need it later.
So right now,
And that's true, because that happened to us, because we had a lot of grants going out several years ago, and all at once they were gone because of the influx of people that we had coming in.
yeah.
Right now, it looks
We
good.
overextended ourselves.
Right now, it looks good, but we don't know what it might be in 2 years, 3 years. So
even a year. You don't know what the end of the year is going to bring, whether they're going to flood in here or not. But I know, we probably had 6 people that we were giving grants to. And all at once we had to get rid of all of them because we had so many people coming in.
For, like, medical assistance?
Just regular
Because
assistance.
of the Affordable Care Act?
Just regular assistance. And of course, we were giving more money back then too than we are now.
Yes, I did do the math on how many clients you could have for $300,000. It's not as many as you think. But then, like with the general town fund, is that where, because there is a large excess there, consistently, that's not really growing or moving the same way the general assistance fund is, a pretty steady, like $650,000 excess, or like beginning balance. So what can be done with that? Like how do you, the extra in that fund, can that be used for assistance, general assistance the same way?
We levy for general assistance.
Right.
And we levy specifically for that. So the money we have for that is just for that. So
Yeah.
as far as,
But for the general town
Yeah.
fund, how would you draw that down?
can we, do we transfer that into if we need to?
I'd have to look at the regulations.
Okay.
As a general rule, the general corporate fund, or the general town fund, as we call it, can supplement other funds. Can, usually, but with general assistance, the
It might
state's
be
got
more
this
tricky.
big book that we have to check to make sure first. So I don't know the answer. I don't want to tell you absolutely yes or absolutely no, because I'm not sure without checking that exists. But in a general answer would be yes, not the other way. That you can't take money from the
GA.
liability fund and give it to the general fund.
Right, no.
That
Yeah,
has to be limited solely for those purposes and for no other.
and just with like every fund other than the general town fund.
Any fund that's supported by a specific tax levy created by statute. Now, we may have created some funds ourselves. I don't know. I haven't gone through each one and combined them to see the tax levy. But those may be different. But for the ones that are created by state statute and whose state statute authorizes us to do a tax levy, then those monies from that tax levy can be used only for the purposes of the levy and for no other.
So there's really no way in those situations to draw down any excess unless you just levied less, but you wouldn't want to levy less because then you could never get it back.
It'd be very hard to get it back because of the property tax cap situation. PTEL, as it's often called, property tax extension limitation law.
But the general town fund, the excess there could be used to fund like grants and programs and stuff.
Yeah, without destroying the reserve, sure. I think I might have told you this story before. It's something I learned in Waukegan. I was talking to the Lake County administrator, and I said, "You got $30 million in reserves? Why do you need that much?" He said, "Our annual budget's $120 million."
Yeah.
In business normally, or even government, you normally have you want to have 6 months revenues sitting, expenses sitting in a reserve. Sometimes people can't. Sometimes they have to have less. So 3 to 6 months is the usual amount or percentage, I should say, that government or business has to keep if they can.
It appears we have about a year worth of.
The statute, they just passed a new statute saying you can't have more than 2.5 years worth.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, they just went through last summer. In fact, I was just looking at it before I walked over there tonight. I don't need to bring this with me. Yes, I should have.
We have to keep in mind as well, there is no receivership in Illinois anymore. Receivership. What that means, it was a time when a township would go under and the state would come in and save them. That's not happening anymore.
Yeah,
They stopped that. So,
we were about at that point.
yes. We're not voting on anything, are we?
No, it's just, now there should be a motion to postpone this to the April 16th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Bender, second by Sykes. Do we do a roll call or voice?
We can do a voice vote on that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Let me find. The next order of business is the approval of a contract for the VACSC's grant. Now, you asked me to get some information as to what the grant be used for. So, Superintendent Mishevitz sent over this.
Oh, she didn't have that.
Sorry.
You need another one?
No, I don't.
Okay. I also have a copy of the actual resolution and a copy of the grant contract. It's similar to what we did for the Dyslexia Center, but we have to agree on an amount. Didn't put an amount down, we have to agree on one. That's how it works. We have to agree. Right?
Yes, sir. That's the
Okay,
agreement.
that's the agreement. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Mike, yeah, Mike Phillips, added his touch onto it. You know how that goes,
Cut down another tree.
when he adds his touch to things.
Not as bad as Walgreens.
Whereas it's
Yeah, and henceforth and all that good stuff. Where did I put the resolution?
Resolution's on top.
And then I left the amount blank,
No,
because I didn't know how much the board was gonna,
no, I forgot the resolution.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
I have one with me.
Okay.
Can we change our minds?
Oh.
Okay, discuss.
You haven't made any decision yet.
It made a
You
decision.
just talked about it.
We
Okay.
talked about it.
So we can make a decision to give them a couple thousand.
Resolution number
Whatever the,
3.
whatever the
Resolution number
appropriation for it.
Okay.
I wish there was numbers associated with this list of items needed. Just, it would be helpful in determining
Right.
an appropriate amount.
Yeah, because it should just says what they are, not how many they need.
Or the, like, I have no idea how much stacks for a van costs.
Neither do I.
I think as we're talking that we do have some extra money, I think it's probably one of the best grants we could probably
Uh-huh.
write
Mhm.
is for the vets.
Mhm. I agree.
So if we're gonna have a little extra money, I would like myself to see it go to any veterans
Mhm.
organization.
I agree.
I
agree.
agree with you.
I got a mess over here, don't
And I think right now at this time, we would like to see the numbers, but at this time, they're happy with whatever they can do.
Right.
We might not be able, excuse my voice,
I? You sound terrible.
we might not be able to do everything on here, but if we can do some of it, they'll be
Right.
happy.
Right.
And maybe this year, we might be able to do this, and next year, something
Do
else.
something
Yeah.
else.
And if you would give out an amount now, even if you determine you have extra money 6 months from now, you can always do it again.
Oh, yes,
Right.
thank you, Mike.
So I will leave it up to the board to decide the amount that the board would like to do.
I wouldn't have a problem myself with 10,000, but then it's up to the rest of the people.
Because, excuse me, what was the amount of money that we did have in there?
Programs,
Yeah, where we at?
Because I think if we're gonna give 5,000 to the
Dyslexia Center?
yes, thank you. That I wouldn't mind doing the 10,000 if that's what if we can afford it. I agree with Nikki. If we can help our veterans, especially get to a medical facility.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yes. And
Yes.
like Mike said, if the $10,000 does so much, and they come back and we see that they need some more, maybe we can see what that is and give them some more later.
I would like to do this out of this year's budget, before this year's budget ends.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So if that's the amount, you guys decide the amount, and if that's the amount you guys want to go with,
could I know what the amount that we have that we're able?
In the program fund from last appropriate, like,
We only spent 28% of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
mine says 24.
No, we have 28. I have the
Oh,
new
yeah,
one
yeah,
This
today.
is the
sorry,
latest
the
one.
number below, yeah.
It's the latest one.
5,000.
Yeah, because she just
Yeah.
mentioned 5,000 for the dyslexia.
Yeah, to 15,000.
Which line item?
Well, almost.
You're looking at a total,
Well,
which one did you
14.
use up? Program,
Four.
I'm sorry. I looked at it
14,
wrong.
325.
Oh,
You appropriated 20,000, and according to this,
We-
5672,
Mhm.
so you have like 14,300, 14,328 left.
so what are we giving the dyslexia? Where's theirs coming out of that same funding?
It already came out, didn't it?
Theirs already come out?
That's that 5,000,
Yep.
5,600.
That already came
Oh,
out.
okay, okay.
Wait a minute. I don't know yet.
That would mean that we
Yeah,
only otherwise
that
had
already came out.
600.
That's why she wanted to.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Yeah, I'm sure it came out.
I'm sure it came out too. So if we want to do
10,
10
Yeah.
and that's for
this year's budget, yeah.
or the next year will start in May.
Yeah,
Go on.
May 1.
Okay.
So-
Well, I don't have a problem with the
Can I make a motion then?
second.
I'll make the motion that we take $10,000 to give to the VAC.
Second.
And that would come from line item 02-22-52-51-0.
That's good.
My only concern with that amount is reading this list, I don't know if they need that much. I mean, there's nothing on here unless these steps for vans are very expensive. But they're also,
Vans they got.
The support
Yeah.
handles for full-size
Well-
vans, those can be getting
I
them
don't know.
installed.
Cost of any of these things.
Single step there.
Well, my thing is this also,
These are ongoing.
right, this is for
Yeah.
transportation, so if this can help with some maintenance on the vehicle, some tires, you know, any little bit,
or gas.
or gas, or,
Right,
you know.
it's, yeah, because maybe she just.
She does an excellent job there.
This is important. When I wrote this agreement, I wrote it that only expenses listed on that email.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
And if they wanted to come back and use it for something else, in my email to the supervisor, I suggested they come back for other purposes.
Okay,
Okay,
that's right.
I just did that because that's what they asked for,
yeah, okay.
and rather than just an open use. But if you say I'm wrong and change it,
No,
and
I
change
just
it.
want to ask this, if we gave them that much right now, that could last them for maybe till next, whatever. You know, it could keep going on.
I have a question.
But here's what Mike wrote the contract
For 1 year.
for these items right here.
Right, that's.
And
what
these
I'm
items may
saying.
not equal up to $10,000.
Right.
That's
But they
where,
only can use it for 1 year?
Yeah, well, we can only do one-year contracts.
right,
Unless we segregate the funds in full. Like when we did the rent, we had to take all of the rent for all 3 years and put it in a
in
separate
in
fund.
escrow, right,
Because by law, we're limited to one-year contracts.
right.
But they can come back and say, I've got this money left, can I do this with it?
Okay,
And we can approve it.
And can I ask,
Right.
I'm not trying to be a pain, but let me
No,
ask
that's fine.
another fundamental question. Usually when we have grants, we just don't, here's $10,000. What we do is give us proof that you spent it and we'll cut you a check to reimburse you for that. Or do you want, I didn't write that either way. You know, it depends how you want to operate it. You just want to give them a check, or do you want them to, us to reimburse them? That may require a lot more work on our half
It
to
would.
track that.
I mean, and when you look at,
Did you talk to them about $5,000 when you talked to them? Patty?
I didn't tell them an amount.
You never talked?
I never said an amount. I said we're thinking about providing a grant. So I never
What?
really gave us a specific amount.
I'm still looking at it, new steps for a full-size van. We don't know how much that would cost.
That's-
That might be
that's true.
$3,000 right there.
It might be
Then you
200
have
now.
single steps for 7 passenger van. That might be another $5.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they got is this to what, we don't know how much it's gonna cost. And I'd rather give them enough to try to do what they have to do versus we give them a little and and they can't do all these
All
things.
this stuff.
Or they only can get the steps done and something else. So, Mike says, if they can come back and ask us, can we do such and such? That's what I think.
And there's at least 3 items on there that they're gonna have to replenish
Yeah.
continuously. And, you know, the GPS,
We
the
don't know.
handicap
Yeah.
van.
I don't know what they cost.
Side door left. I'm just looking, I did a quick search on the internet, and the prices vary depending on what type of stuffs. Anywhere from $180 to $2,400, depending what the, $3,125 is not
So we
high.
don't know what stuff there is.
Right, so I mean, the price could significantly
Could
vary.
vary.
Next meeting is still on this fiscal year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be possible to get this list with some associated costs or something? Just, I'd feel more comfortable knowing amounts, not just needs, because,
It don't bother me.
yeah.
Because
I don't
wanna
think
know
it's
that.
fair to, she's very good at handling money. I don't think it's fair to just put it right down to her, you know, like
Then
this.
she's gotta give you.
Because then she's got to take the
that-
time to take this and get us some, and I've just got one switch on my car that just puts the seat back and forth, and they told me today it's $1,500. And that's a little switch that just moves my seat back and forth.
Right.
So when I'm seeing here, there's 3 things that they're going to have to take
And
to
7
a
days.
dealer
Yeah.
to, you could have $5,000 or more on just those 3 things.
I just struggle with spending, like, with the dyslexia center, she came in, we asked her a lot of questions. She was in here for an hour, and I know Marina's great, but I would like numbers. I wouldn't buy something if I can't see the price. This is similar. I knew what $5,000 equaled for the dyslexia center, and I don't know what $5,000 equals here.
And you never know with their patient or their
I don't even know the clientele
base
amount.
is gonna be going back and forth to Madison VA.
What do you mean?
Well, how many patients, let's say they have 10 patients they have to take up for doctor appointments tomorrow. That could fluctuate, you know, it's getting warmer out, people are getting outside, you know, it's always up and down as far as medical.
It's not getting warmer, it's gonna snow tomorrow.
Thank you.
I think, especially considering that this legal document is written in accordance with this list, it seems like it would be helpful if we knew numbers also, because they're tied.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be like, we're gonna buy 20 disposable blankets, which is what, maybe even like, what is their need of disposable blankets? Is it, 10 a month, or is it 100 a month? Like, that's such a wide variable, and it'd just be helpful to know, because maybe it's that they need more, it'd
And
just
maybe
be
you have
good
to
to know.
find a case, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And what's the
It
year
doesn't-
and make of the vans?
I don't know.
I don't,
Well,
that's stuff
that would
I-
be easy to research. I've trained on those vans for special needs people, and those stairs they're an essential thing.
And maybe
Well, I'm
she
sure
didn't
she'll look for
Yes.
the cheapest person
Yeah.
to do it.
Right. I mean, I don't think she's gonna go out and spend,
No, just because she's got it, she's not gonna spend it.
cause she's gonna be trying to make it stretch as much as she can, I do believe.
Right.
But
Okay, so what's the board's decision?
I think
I
we
don't
should
have a
let her
problem.
go over and get some,
I'm ready to vote on it.
I don't have a problem with giving them that kind of money, our veterans, versus giving, which I know dyslexia is something too, but these are our veterans, and I don't have a problem with it.
dyslexia affects like 3 in 10 children.
Right.
It's a very large
Right. But our
amount.
veterans served our country too, so,
Yes.
I don't have a problem with helping our veterans
and like you say,
Me
at
Margaret,
all.
she's
I just
good
wanna
with
make
money.
She's good with money.
Yep.
She's very good with money.
Right
And
now, we
maybe
have
at
a
the time-
motion on the floor to approve $10,000 made by Bender and seconded by Sellers.
Okay.
So do you want to vote on that, or what?
I want a little more discussion.
Okay.
I really do. I want a little more discussion. I understand both sides. I understand both sides. I don't have a problem giving our veterans the funds. I have no problem doing that. But I also hear the concerns of the other two trustees about the list, and about the list being tied to the contract.
Well, the whole thing is, after she buys all this, if she's got money left, she has to come back to us.
What do you mean, if she's got money left?
If she hasn't spent the $10,000 on this,
And
if she's only spent $8,000 and she wants to spend the other
She wants to get
$2,000,
some more tires, she
She'll have
still
to-
has to come back to us.
yeah, she's gonna come back. I
Is
mean,
that how
I
it-
think we're really
But it
tying her
doesn't
hands.
have to be
Yes,
on a
the way it's
different
written is what she asked the products for.
Uh-huh.
You have a list, I'm sorry, could look at your
Yeah,
list for a second.
yeah.
These 8 items, the 8 emergency GPS, magnetic signs, new steps, a single step for a 7-passenger minivan, disposable blankets, support handles for full-size van, and hats for drivers. Those, as I wrote it, you can change it. You don't have, but the way I wrote it is I wrote it for what she asked for.
Because wasn't there discussion about the vans needing tune-ups and tires and
that's not on the
that
list.
nature?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
That's
it
what
was
That's
discussed.
what we said.
Yeah.
That's what
We-
prompted
she
my
wasn't
comment.
here
Oh,
when we-
okay.
That was
Yeah,
our
she
discussion.
wasn't here to say that. That's what we said. Do they need tires? Do they need,
Okay.
you know,
I
and
gotcha.
maybe she wasn't thinking that when she was trying to write it up. And if she knows that, oh, they'll buy us new tires, maybe that's something, I don't know.
And if you tell her that, I always mispronounce Myrna's name. If you tell her the amount you're thinking about, there might be a different list you
Right.
can generate. You may get
Yes.
generation for services for tune-ups and services for maintenance, or new tires. She may be thinking of a smaller amount,
Yes.
and therefore, because those are pretty much
That's true.
Little things.
little, except for the GPS
Yeah.
and depending on the type of steps, they're not that expensive.
No,
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're talking $5,000 to $10,000. They may be, well, in that case, if you
Right.
can we do X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
which we also need to do.
Right, because you don't know what their tires are like running back and forth to Madison. So,
and the gas
right,
Yeah.
going up.
yes, it's, maybe she don't know we're gonna get that, like,
Right.
Okay, maybe that's a discussion I should have with her tomorrow.
right. Maybe we
Just a little more
should,
information
Okay.
for her and for us.
Okay.
just to see what are some of the other things that she might need.
Then I need a motion to postpone this to the April 16th meeting.
Is everybody okay with that?
I guess if it means for her to add more things to help out, I don't have a problem with it.
Better
But if she
safe than
comes
sorry.
and she says, well, this probably will cost close to that, then, I mean, we don't know, because we didn't have her here and we didn't give her a range, so I guess I don't have a problem with postponing it, just to see if that's enough for her
And how
right
that,
now.
how that might change if she knows, like, this is what we're considering, this list might be different, which would then help with just their ability to use that money.
Maybe she doesn't know that we're gonna help her with gas. You can use the money also for gas. Does she know how the contract is wrote up?
No.
No.
See, so
No.
She does.
that's another thing. Maybe she thinks she's gonna get the money, and if she needs it for other things, so maybe I say we should postpone it, just so she can understand what the, grant she wrote out, and the list that she wrote out, and how much we're looking at giving her, and what can help her.
I'll
You making
second
that
it.
a motion?
Do you agree?
Second.
Yes.
Is that a
Okay.
motion?
Yes, and
Yes.
he seconded.
And Nikki seconded it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So that's my first call. My call the first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to have a roll call?
Yes, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Voice votes.
A voice vote, okay? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Okay.
The next order of business is the supervisor's report, and I have some stuff to hand out, so. I have it here. Here's the new expenditure and budget report.
This is for next year.
No,
This is
this is this year.
Oh, this year.
And you guys will get probably get another one at the,
She's got one.
next,
Next Tuesday, right? Is the town meeting?
that's the annual town meeting.
That's the annual, yeah.
Now, I
Yeah, that, we
also,
won't get this for that, that's a totally different thing.
I also have the treasurer's report. Please bring this with you to the annual town meeting,
When's the
Treasurer's
town
report.
meeting again?
A week from tomorrow.
next Tuesday.
That would be the 10th.
Yes.
10th of April at 6 o'clock.
So bring that with you,
Here.
please.
Need one? No, in this way, thank you.
We're good.
All right, you need one, Mike?
I do.
Oh, you need one, Tom. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I have a call into Stephanie? Yes, I had a call. She called me back. I called her today, and I guess we're playing phone tag. But I'll get a hold of her. I'm setting a meeting up and talk with her about what they're doing and stuff and be a part of that, be the change thing. So, pretty excited about that.
Okay, would you explain that a little bit?
Be the change.
Be the change? Is that a new program?
No, it's an organization that's helping clean up our city, physically up and clean up our city.
Okay, clean up.
I would like for all over. I would like for Township to be a part of their next cleanup, which is going to be
What, superhero cleanup?
helping
Wear
out.
gloves and use a picker.
I've been in programs before, and I just don't have a heart of picking up, but he's sitting there watching me pick up. I just know that's me. I mean, I'm being honest.
Okay.
I've been there before.
I understand. I
I
understand.
never did it up, and
It's just that.
I don't ever do it.
But I would
'Cause
like
I
for
just
us
don't have
to
that kind of
be a part of that.
personality. I won't be able to handle it.
What else I want to talk to you guys? We talked about the grants. What else? I think that's all for me. Oh, wait a minute. We have 22 active clients, 6 pending, and 2 terminations. Probably by tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, we'll probably have 26 clients. Because I think 4 of the 6 will be approved tomorrow. So, all right. The next order of business is the assessors report. Assessor.
Just to let you know that Board of Review is done. They heard the last of their appeals on March 15th, and they closed their books, so we are getting started and working in 2018. And as soon as the county gets me their 2017 sales for the sales ratio study, then we'll compare with our list, and then hopefully when the state sends theirs, we'll agree and we'll know how much we can lose or gain this year. Hopefully gain a little, maybe.
All right.
So you're working on 2018 assessments?
2018 work, yeah. I mean, assessments, that, we're looking at everything. We're looking at sales, we're getting field work, what we can get done, we're doing that, so. Anything we have to review for 2018.
Okay, thanks.
All right. All right, the next order of business is the trustees report. Trustees? Okay. Any public comments?
Okay. Here?
Yes, of course. You got to look at it right there.
Okay. Steve Carroll from Freeport. I find it interesting that one of the discussions was about budget surplus, reserve fund, too much money, and the word spend down. That alarms me a little bit because go back about 6 years. This place was a dumpster fire. It was broke.
Right.
And it was an absolute joke from City Hall to my barber shop. It's not anymore. And please, be very careful how you spend our money. Because I remember the bad old days, and they were just that. And I think helping the veterans is an outstanding idea. I really do. And I think the question about disposable blankets came up, and that is a really smart, necessary thing to have because they're sterile.
They don't have to wash them.
Right, well, no, but a lot of these guys going up there are probably ill with diseases. Every medical facility in the country has MRSA. It's just a way of life now. And we don't want MRSA. So anyway, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Might have MRSA already. It's bleeding in many people. You could have MRSA right now and just be unaffected.
Laying dormant,
Laying dormant,
Or your
immune system.
can't buy it.
like me. All righty, any other business coming before the town?
I just want to remind you, the town hall meeting on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. It's here at the Farm Bureau.
10 o'clock.
Not 10 o'clock. It's the 10th of April at 6 o'clock. Sorry
I
about
mean, they're
that.
gonna miss the news.
Yeah, 10 o'clock there.
I won't
I
be
will
here.
be here.
Anyway, so just wanted to remind you all, because we need everybody here, as many as we can, because I don't expect a lot of people to come.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Right. All righty. Well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn until Monday, April 16th, 2018 at 5:30.
She's sleeping. Second.
Motion by Selma, second by Billy. Gee whiz. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, meeting adjourned.